to the Cheer Athlete Podcast, where we bring coaches, parents, and athletes expert tips and advice to help keep cheerleaders healthy, strong, and at the top of their game. Now let's go. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. Today I'm going to share a little clip of the teaching that I did in my new program called Flexible Power and Confidence. We had the first session last week. The second session was this week. I'm recording this on Sunday, so you're going to hear this on Wednesday. The second session is already done. It'll be out and live for all to view soon. It's in a beta test program right now. This session that I did, we talked about a tool that you can use to help feel better, move better, and start to experience movement better. It's called P.A.U.S.E, and maybe you've seen it on my social media recently. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit more in the episode, and I hope that you enjoy it. You can't tell because I have a screensaver, but I'm actually outside of my deck today because even in life, it's important to pause. I talk about P.A.U.S.E as a tool to use to help you feel better. But, I think it's really important that we take a moment to just pause, whether it's on a Sunday, if you can sit outside and catch some fresh air, or, any moment through the day that you can just stop and breathe. It can really do a world of good for your overall mental health and your physical health, and for just in general, and feeling good and feeling better. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. I want to talk, before I just run through the exercises, I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset and awareness. And I do have, I'll upload it into the group. I do have a tool that can help you to kind of remember and take a second to remember why it's actually really important to be aware of your mindset and be aware of your body. Most of knowing where your flyer's positions are and what your flyer needs to feel is body awareness. Kids just don't have an awareness of their body. Most adults don't have an awareness of their body. And I think this is really important. So this can apply to everyone, and I encourage you to do it the same, again, so you can teach your kids, and so that you have a better awareness of what you're doing and how things are feeling. So the tool is called P.A.U.S.E, P-A-U-S-E. Pay attention, ask your body why, use your breath, slow it down, explore, and don't expect. So let's talk about that after I get a quick sip of water. So the P, pay attention. That's probably the key thing with learning how to feel better, move better, and making sure we're not pushing beyond our limit. You want to notice what you're feeling. Know, what does it feel like to feel tightness? Is it tightness, or is it pain? How much effort are you needing to get there? Can you breathe normally, or are you holding your breath and creating tension as you're trying to do a stretch or do a position? Is there imbalance? Is it the same thing, right side to left side? How easy is it to perform that motion? Or that, so whether it's reaching up into a counter for a glass, or reaching behind your head to grab your foot to pull up into a scorpion, where are you feeling it? What does it feel like? Is it a tightness, or is it an ouch? Is it easy to get there? Do you have to hold your breath to get there, or is your breathing getting more rapid as you're trying to get that motion? And is it equal on both sides? Awareness is that first step to change across the board for anything that we do, but especially in movement. The A is for ask your body why. Instead of focusing on forcing and pushing through tension, ask your body, what is it protecting? Why is it tight? And what is that tightness trying to tell me? This can shift from frustration when you are not making progress and things are just continuing to get tight, to maybe a curiosity as to, I do this stretch every day, but my flexibility is not improving. Why is that? Or my jumps aren't getting better, but I could sit here in a full-on straddle. Why is that? And what might the body be protecting by not letting you do the motion that you're trying to do? Most of the time, I'm going to tell you it's likely protecting because something else is weak. And we're going to dive a little bit more into that next week. But use your breath. Breathing is so it's kind of a big buzz right now, and it's kind of been a growing trend. But what's evolved over the last 12 years is, breathe in when you are at rest, breathe out when you're exerting yourself. And I still will coach that. And your breathing exercises that you're going to have some of that coaching. But really being aware of, you know, how does your breathing change when you're trying to do a specific trick? So if you're trying to pull a heel stretch and you're pulling up and you have to hold it for an 8 count and it's getting harder and it hurts. Are your shoulders going up to your ears? Are you talking like me? Or are you able to actually be there, let your shoulders relax and breathe into it? It's hard and when you're in the middle of a routine and when you're in the middle of, practicing your stunts to really pay attention to what your breathing is. But there are pauses in through your routines and through your practices where you can actually take a breath and pause and just check in. And when in doubt, like I say on my podcast, breathe out. Whenever you're in doubt, take an exhale. When you exhale, your core gets tighter. You use your anterior and your posterior core, and your diaphragm gets a chance to relax and not just be on high alert. It sets your core up in better position so that we're not in this like flight or fight response and we get into a more relaxed state. And we need to be a little bit more sympathetic when we're cheering and not parasympathetic. So sympathetic is that fight, flight response, and parasympathetic is rest and digest. We need to be ready to go, but we need to be able to control it and not be high tension at the same time. So breathing helps to regulate your nervous system. It can unlock the areas of tension. Try to move with your breath and help you find control. So you got pay attention, ask your body why, use your breath. S is for slow it down. Quality beats quantity and speed every day. Slowing down your movement allows you to feel what you're feeling. It improves your coordination, your control, and it reveals hidden compensation. If they are just rushing through things, I see kids do this all the time, whether it's in the clinic or when I was coaching on the floor, they're like, I just want to get through this, this one exercise. I'm just going to go as fast as I can. Well, they miss out on a lot by doing that. They don't gain the control, if they're doing a movement. So one of the warm-up exercises you'll get is an abductor rock. You can get a great stretch in the inner thigh as well as stabilizing the outer thigh. And when you take your time and rock back and forth, nice and slow and control, you can actually ease into that stretch, maybe nudge a little farther each time. Or likely kids are going to realize because they are pretty flexible in that out, it's like a straddle split, but on your hands and knees and not fully into the split. So as they sit back and rock, they may not feel anything, but if they go slow, they can adjust their foot when they can make fine tuning by just, pushing your pinky toe into the floor or tucking the pelvis under. Moving slow and being aware and cognitive of what you're supposed to feel, what it should feel like. Does it feel that way? If it doesn't feel that way, it's not bad. It's not wrong. It just might be different. And make note of that. So slow down so you can be aware and know where your baseline is that you can see what it feels like tomorrow. And explore, don't expect. I will cue you on working on perfect form, making sure that the chin is tucked, the shoulders are relaxed, the ribs are down, and the pelvis is relatively level. Because that sets us up, and that's what you'll learn in the centered course, sets everything up and stacks everything to be one over the other. In doing this will help you to, it sets up better core stability, and gets you just ready. You're better able to perform whatever you're trying to go do. That being said, let go of chasing perfect form. Explore the motion. If we're looking for a better heel stretch, can you get it up in front? And maybe that's out a little bit, but your knee is straight and your other leg is locked and your hip is straight. Maybe it's not up here yet, but maybe you can hold it here. And it looks prettier because your toes are pointed, because the rest of you is upright as opposed to struggling to hold it and fight to get it. So we need to be strong and stable, and we want to work towards getting better form. We're not going to focus and stress about it. We want to focus on exploration and progress, not performance or perfection. And when we can teach that, we can have a better mindset as to, am I making progress? Maybe your kid stays on a level 1 for 6 years. I hope not. I hope they progress on, they gain different skills, but maybe they're starting off way down, they have no core stability. They're really wobbly. And then the next season, they're solid at prep level and they can do two-legged stunts, but they're like controlling it and they're making progress. Then maybe they can get to the level 1, the single leg stunts. And they're making that gradual progress and they're progressing with their tumbling. Maybe they're round offs that don't look perfect in the beginning, but maybe the next year they get a better snap down. Maybe the next year they get better height. So as long as they're making progress, that's what's important. And we can focus on the progress and how our body feels in it. We're going to feel better and we're going to make better progress in the long run and be able to do more and have a solid base to do level 6 and beyond. Make a world's team for level 6. So I hope that you will use the pause movement tool. I will admit I used ChatGPT to help me put that together. And it came up with a really creative acronym, which I like. And I'm going to start using that all together because I think when we can pause for a moment and really feel what we're feeling in our body, it will make everything move that much better in the long run. And we'll have less injuries and less kids wanting to cry because their stretches hurt or somebody pushed them too far. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and I hope you learned something. I'd love to know what was your takeaway and how will you incorporate the pause tool in your daily practice, in your movements, in your practices for cheer. I hope that you can incorporate that and it can help you to feel better as well. Don't forget, it's important to just get into your body, start to listen to it, and really pay attention to what's going on. When we know what we're feeling, the things that we can make better changes, we can progress faster. If we're just forcing through something and trying to push and get it done, we set ourselves up for risk of injury. So I'd love to know how you're going to incorporate that. And if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. This program will be live very soon. I'm looking for probably around July to make it more live. But if you want more information about that, there's a link below that you can sign up for more information, and I'll let you know when it comes out. So it's called Flexibility, Power, and Confidence to help improve flyers' flexibility, improve power for jumps, and improve your cheerleaders' confidence overall. So lots of exercises in the program, as well as educational times and a place for you to ask questions specifically for your own cheerleaders. There are lots of free guides in the show notes, so check them out. And if you have questions, please reach out. You can always reach me on Instagram messages. I'd love to know, what is your cheerleader struggling with and how might what you're needing to work on. One, it gives me content to talk about, and two, I like helping people feel better, move better. So don't forget, when in doubt, breathe out, take life one step at a time. You can do anything you put your mind to. As my friend Drew Keller has said, you're responsible for your own vibes. Let's go get the day. And thanks for listening.